ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। साक्षात्कृतं दयानन्दं परमार्थस्वरूपिणं तत्त्वज्ञानप्रशास्तारं प्रणतोऽस्मि परं पदम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपात्तमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। We are in the third chapter. The chapter begins with the question of Arjuna. Even though the Gita concludes the second chapter, because the Arjuna, he asked a question, therefore Gita continues. It continues for the rest of the chapters and successive chapters also. Arjuna will ask questions. The questions are valid questions, the general questions, general doubts which a sadhaka will have. A general question because of the wrong understanding, the wrong idea. What is the wrong idea? There are some shlokas which can give the sense, which can lead one to which can give the sense of, not lead, which can give the sense of leading one to misunderstanding. That's what even Arjuna also says. Yamishreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasi iva. 2 times iva uses. Therefore, no shlokas really gives that possibility of misconception because we have wrong understanding. Therefore, the shloka is the Upadesha of Bhagavan, seems to be giving wrong understanding. And that to the shloka, the Lokesmin Dvividha Anishta, very important shloka of this chapter. The third shloka, Pura Prokta Mayanaha, Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena Yogena. This shloka has done, not this shloka. The shloka had not done anything. The interpretation by the interpreters of Gita, they have done enough, they have created enough wrong understanding from this shloka. Jnana Yogena Sankhyanam Karma Yogena. Here Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, the Tritiya Vibhakti is that Tritiya Vibhakti we use Tritiya Vibhakti in different meanings. Karane Tritiya. Karana means the means by which you accomplish. It's called Karanam, instrument. Like Agam Chamasena Annam Kadami. I eat Annam with the spoon. Spoon is the means. Karanam. So Tritiya Vibhakti used to denote the Karanam. Karane Tritiya. Taking that Tritiya Vibhakti to be the Karanam. So Jnana Yoga is a means. Jnana Yoga is a means for the Sankhyas for moksha, and Karma Yoga is a means because that Yogena Tritiya Bhakti has got the meaning, the means, the cause, the means. Karma Yoga is a means for yogis. So 2 different sets of people following 2 different sets of sadhanas for gaining the same end. That is enough to create, that interpretation is enough to create damage, great damage. That is what most of the translators and interpreters, they do. It is not, Tritiya Vibhakti is not Karane Tritiya. That's why we say it is Ittam Bhute Tritiya. Ittam Bhave Tritiya. Sankhyana, the lifestyle of Sankhya, sannyasi, which is characterized by Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga, Jnana Yogena, Sankhyanam, Karma Yogena, Yogina. The Yoginam, Karma Yoginam, the lifestyle is characterized by the Karma Yoga. So, therefore, it is not Karanam, Karane Tritiya. Tritiya Vibhakti, what Tritiya? It is Ittam Bhute. That lifestyle is in the form of the lifestyle which is characterized by, that is the meaning. So, the lifestyle of the sannyasi, which is in the form of the pursuit of jnanam. Similarly, the lifestyle of karma yogi, which is in the form of the pursuit of karma. So that is the translation. That is why the translation is important. If the Tritiya Vibhakti is Ittam Bhuta, we translate it as in the form of, or characterized by. Like that we do the translation. Therefore, it's important. This shloka is often misinterpreted shloka. That's why the shloka, and in Bhashyam we have seen, Gita Bhashyam, Bhashyakara dealt with this elaborately in the Sangati itself. Sangati to this chapter itself, and in for this shloka also. Now, after that, the important topic, this chapter deals with karma yoga, not karma yoga. Karma, when we say, it is karma yoga. Karma as a means, when we say, it is karma yoga, not mere karma. Karma yoga, the karma yoga is talked about. Karma Yoga already talked about in the second chapter. Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. Samattam yoga uchyate. All these are Karma Yoga. We talked about Karma Yoga, and here in this chapter, it is very elaborated. In the 8th shloka, Bhagavan Krishna said, Niyatam kuru karmatvam, karmajyayo hyakarmanaha. That is Karma Yoga. Niyatam karma, vigitam karma, shastra vigitam karma, kartavyam karma. That karma you kuru. You have to do. Sannyasa is superior. Still you do karma. This is what the advice given by Arjuna. Yadyapi sannyasasya sarva utkrishta tamatvam asti. Tatapi, hey Arjuna, tvam Ishvara prityartam, mam prityartam, chitta shuddhyartam, karma kuru. That is the meaning of the word niyatam kuru. Karma kuru. Why should I do karma? Kimartam karma karaniyam? For Ishvara prityartam. When you bring Ishvara for Ishvara priti, mamo pata samasta duritaksha dvara Shri Parameshwara prityartam. In the sankalpa we do. Parameshwara prityartam is for priti of Ishvara. The karma, what you do, it is for the priti, it is done for the Bhagavan. It is a worship. Any karma. Not only the puja karma, when you take the sankalpa, we say Ishvara prityartam. Any karma, what do you do? In your nitya karma. Any karma. That is for Ishvara prityartam. Chitta shuddhyartam. So Ishvara priti or chitta shuddhi. Ishvara, when Bhagavan will be pleased, Ishvara prityartam, priti of Bhagavan, when Bhagavan will become priti. Later, Bhagavan Krishna in this Gita itself, later he says, Jnani tu atmaiva me matam. Jnani is the one who is most dear to me. Talks about 4 types of bhaktas. Among the 4 types of bhakta, artha, artharthi, artha bhakta, artharthi bhakta, and jnani bhakta. Among all these bhaktas, jnanis are those, Bhagavan says, they are the most dear to me. So, Ishvara priti is you become an object of great love for Bhagavan himself. When you become a jnani. So Ishvara priti is this the person who is a jnani. He is the one most dear to Bhagavan. So when you do a karma, the karma is done for gaining Bhagavan. Then only that becomes Ishvara priti karma. How can the karma will become the means for gaining Bhagavan? The karma, whatever will be the karma, whether it is a worship or any other karma, nitya karma, that karma what you do, that will, not a karma, it is karma yoga. It becomes a yajna. That karma yoga will take you to Bhagavan. Therefore, it becomes Ishvara priti. The karma gives chitta shuddhi. Chitta shuddhi dwara, you get yogyata for jnana prapti. The jnanam will give you moksha, will give you Bhagavan. Therefore, Ishvara priti. So the karma becomes a means for gaining Bhagavan. So therefore, since the karma what you are doing, it's not for just for the sake of the limited results, it is for gaining Bhagavan himself. Therefore, it becomes Ishvara priti. That's why we say Parameshwara prityartam. The sankalpa we say. Therefore, kimartam karma karaniyam, if you ask, चित्त शुद्धि द्वारा ज्ञान योग्यता सिद्धिः भवति. Therefore कर्म करणीयम. ज्ञान योग्यता is for ज्ञानम. ज्ञानम for Bhagavan, gaining Bhagavan. So therefore karma kuru. And compared to akarma, inaction, karma karanam shreyas karma bhavati. Karma jyayaha akarmanaha. Because karma takes you towards Bhagavan. Therefore, compared to akarma, not doing, akarmanaha, panchami, akarmanaha, karma karanam, that karma, shreyas karma bhavati, it is superior, jayaha bhavati. So, therefore, just by giving karma, what will happen? Jnanam vina, this karma parityaha, sharira yatrapi na siddhet. Even sustenance of this body not possible. Without jnanam, if you give up karma, even the mere sustenance of the body will become impossible. Sharira yatra pichate na prasiddhet akarmanaha iti. So, akarmanaha karma karanam shreyas karam bhavati. Therefore, sharira yatra api nasidyet karma parityagena. Jnanam vina karma parityagena. Therefore, karma is to be done. Shastra vigitam karma to be done. That karma becomes karma yoga. When you bring in Ishvara prityartam chitta shuddhyartam. So any karma, if you do it for with the mind, with the goal in mind, that is moksha, then it becomes karma yoga. Therefore, karma yoga becomes the means, the sadhanam, the karanam for mukti. How? Not directly. Parampara sadhanam bhavati. It is indirect means for moksha. So when the karma is done for moksha, it means karma is done for moksha, means through karma and moksha directly not possible. It gives you the pakvata, the maturity, the chitta shuddhi. You become a adhikari purusha. After that only you go to the guru upasadanam, shastra patanam, jnana prapti, then jnana. Therefore, karma is done with the goal moksha in mind. Therefore, that karma becomes karma yoga. It becomes yoga. Yoga, the word yoga means yujur, to unite, to join. It joins with you, Bhagavan. You are not away from Bhagavan. You are not away from Bhagavan at any point of time. That away from Bhagavan, that alienation is because of ajnana. Ajnana is the obstacle. It is the obstacle, or it is that which brings about the gap, which brings about the sense of alienation, isolation from Bhagavan. You can never be isolated from Bhagavan. All the time you are not with Bhagavan, you are Bhagavan. That is what ultimately we are going to say. So you are with Bhagavan all the time. Now we can say you are with Bhagavan. Later we will say you are Bhagavan. That is what Tattvamasi is. Therefore, the karma becomes chitta. Karma is a means for chitta shuddhi. Chitta shodakam mukti sadakam. Ramana Maharshi says, chitta shodakam mukti sadakam. Therefore, karma kuru. When we say karma kuru, do karma, it is not just for doing karma. Jnana yogyata praptyartam karma yogaha avashyam anushtayaha. Avashyam anushtayaha iti. Therefore, karma yoga. And in the next shloka, we saw the 9th shloka, yajnatat karmanon yatra. There, so far, karma kuru only Bhagavan Krishna said. Then he uses the word yajna. From where he got the word yajna? Suddenly the word yajna comes, the 9th shloka. Yajnartat karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Tadartam karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. All the shlokas we have seen. I'll just give you this summary of what we have seen because the topic karma yoga is important topic. And these shlokas gives you the gist of the karma yoga. The yajna, here the word yajna is used by Bhagavan. Karma yoga is an yajna. Karma yoga is a yajna. Yajna need not have the yaga, the homakunda, yagakunda, this aguti, the agni, all the Vedikas. No, any karma becomes an yajna. What is an yajna? Yajna is the means of expression of our kritagnyata, the gratitude to the Lord. Expression of our gratitude, the gratefulness for what we are given. Why should we be grateful? Because Bhagavan has given us everything. Everything what we have is given by Bhagavan. Body is given. The shariram is given. Shariram is given in keeping with our karma pala. We asked for it and Bhagavan has given it. And what is required for the maintenance of the shariram, that is also given. Oxygen is required. O2 is given. We require oxygen for living. Without oxygen, we cannot live. Oxygen is given. Food is given in the form of plants and vegetables. We don't need mamsam. Mamsam na bhakshayet. All the vegetables, plants are given. And digestive organ is given for digesting the food what we take. And the energy and the nutrients extracted from the digested food, that is circulated throughout the body. We don't do anything deliberately. It all is done in the body. You take food, everything is done. Everything is given and everything is done also. Heart is given, liver is given, pancreas is given, kidneys are given. Every organ which is meant for the functioning of the body, the sustenance of the body, it is given. And everything required for the sustenance, the body, the external things, that also given. Both internal and external are given. Parents are given. A child is born, child cannot take care of himself. The human child has a problem. Human being, as baby, we have a problem. We cannot live, we cannot stand up on our own. Whereas animals, if you take, they don't need the support. The moment they are born, they themselves get up and they themselves walk. But human babies are not like that. So therefore, we need parents. Parents are given. And love for the child is given for the parent. The child needs love and care, which is also given. So everything what we need, whether it is physical or mental or psychological, for our growth and welfare, it is all given. We may not be satisfied with that. That is a different thing. Nobody can really be satisfied in the world. It is not possible. Therefore, for what we have, for what we are given, we have to exhibit our gratitude to the Lord. Exhibition showing our gratitude to the Lord for what we enjoy, what we are given. That is called yajna. And how do we show it? By being grateful. The gratefulness. Ingratitude is a worst papam. Being not grateful, that is the greatest papam. If at all there is any papa, which is this ingratitude, there is no prayaschitta karma for this ingratitude. What we have is given by Bhagavan. And the Bhagavan who has given, should not we be grateful? So therefore, that if you are not grateful, then it is equivalent to committing a papam. A papam is gained only by action. Only when you do action, the result will be either papam or punyam. But this papam this is gained without doing. It is just because your attitude. That is why it's all attitude based. That's why karma yoga, the very definition we say. Yoga is the attitude. And therefore, if you are ingrateful, then there is no parashita for it. Kritagne nasti nishkritihi iti. Therefore, we look upon this as an yajna. Yajna is what you do is an yajna. And what you do is with gratitude you do. So therefore, yajna, the word is important. Therefore, yajnartat karmanaha anyatra. Ayam lokaha karma bandhanaha. Ayam lokaha karma bandhanaha. Yajnartat, that is the karma which is done. Yajnartat karmanaha means this Ishvara Priti Hetoho, the karma which is done for Ishvara Priti. Other than that, Anyatra, like Kamya karma, etc. This becomes the means for karma bandha. Karma bandhaha bhavati. Ayam lokaha karma bandhaha bhavati, when the karma is done other than for the sake of this yajna. Therefore, tadartam karma kaunteya. Therefore, you do karma for what? Tadartam karma kaunteya, yajnartam karma kaunteya. Yajnartam karma kuru e kaunteya. By that what happens? You become free from. By that you become free from the papa. You become free from the papa, being not grateful. That is a papa. So you become free, and you do karma mukta sangha samachara. Mukta sangha samachara. The sangha, that is the association with the karma, that is the ragadvesha. Ragadvesha is what binds a person. So being free from ragadvesha, you do karma. When you are free from ragadvesha, you are with yourself. So you can do the karma really as a worship. Therefore, tadartam karma kaunteya. Tadartam karma. Yajnartam karma kuru. Mukta sangha samachara. Samyak achara. Samyak achara. The karma to be done, samyak. It should not be done. It should not be done with disinterest. We have to do with all your focus, all your energy, karma kuru, because it is yajna. The yajna, this karma yoga, it's a vidhi. Therefore, only kuru. It is to be done. It is to be done. If it is done other than the attitude of yajna, then it becomes a cause for bandha. Therefore, without any strings attached, the raga dvesha attached, you do karma, tadattam karma kuru. And what is that you gain because of this karma? Sagayajna praja srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam eshaha vaha tu ishtakamaduk bhavati. So purovacha prajapatihi pura uvacha, Prajapati said, by this karma yoga, may you grow and may you multiply. May you grow and multiply. So this will become Ishtakamaduk. This will become the fulfiller of your wishes, all the wishes. Therefore, Yeshaha Vaha Yushmakam Ishtakamaduk Bhavati. So if you do karma like that, what happens? Devan bhavayatanena te devaha bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantaha shreyaha param avapsyata. So Prajapati Pura said, Anena prasavishyadvam. By this you grow, multiply, and this will become your Ishtakamaduk. And how you do it? This Devan Bhavayatu. Bhavayatu means Santoshayatu. you propitiate the devas. How? By this yajnadibihi, karmabihi. By that santushtaha devaha, what they will do? They bhavayantu. They will please you by giving what you want. So therefore, this is a parasparam. So parasparam bhavayantaha santaha, then param avapsyata, shreyaf param avapsyata, you gain the ultimate. So by propitiating each other, evam parasparam santoshayantaha, you finally gaining jnanam. That is the ultimate thing. That shreyaha is jnanam. Jnanam avapya shreyaha avapsyata. Param shreyas avapsyata. Parasparam bhavayantaha is required. Is required for gaining the other purushartha. Parasparam bhavayantaha. And finally, what we require is moksha. For that, for moksha, all the other purusharthas are also important in the sense they subserve moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, all these purusharthas, they are gained, they are important, they are gained by propitiating devatas. You ask, you propitiate devatas, and devata, they in return give you. So in this way, you grow by leading the life of karma yoga, and finally, shreyaha param avapsyata. Finally, you gain moksha. So that lifestyle is nicely talked about. Observing the lifestyle of karma yoga, you gain whatever you require, dharma, artha, kama, and finally, param also avapsyata. Iti. Ishtan bohan hi vo devaha dasyante yajnabhavitaha. Tay dattan apradayebhyaha yaha bhunkte saha stena eva saha. So in this way, yajnabhavitaha devaha, the deva who are been propitiated by you, they give you what you want. Dasyante, ishtan bohan, whatever ishta bhoga, whatever the bhoga, the enjoyments which you like, they give you. Now what you have received? Now, having received, not offering it, not thanking. Offering means thanking, not expressing your gratitude. Taihi dattan apradayebhyaha yaha bhunkte. The one who consumes without dattan. Dattan is, who is datta? Bhagavan has given. Taihi dattan, the devatas are given. Apradayebhyaha yaha bhunkte. The one who consumes without offering to the Lord. Saha stenaha. Stenaha is choraha. So all the devatas who have been propitiated, they will give you what you want. And after receiving what they are given, you have to acknowledge and give back to devatas. Acknowledgement of what we have received, and that is important, and that is expression of our gratitude. So consuming without acknowledging, it's a papam. That is equivalent to being a thief, a choraha. So taihi dattan apradayebhya, without giving back to devatas, the one who enjoys. Devata only is, all the devata is this, all the natural forces, the laws are presented over by devatas. So you have to give back them. That is what is called the karma yoga, the yajna attitude. So the one who consumes without offering is a thief, because you are not giving to Bhagavan, you are not giving to the society, you are not giving to the nature. When you give, then it becomes a yajna. When you give with gratefulness, that becomes an yajna. Because Bhagavan has given you not only for your consumption, it is through you the Bhagavan has given for others. You want you want rain. Not only you want, the people in the in a in a city, in a village, they want rain. Not that everybody in the village wants rain. A person who is a farmer doesn't have rain for who has got lands, and the farmers of the village, they don't get the rain, therefore they are suffering. Therefore, they pray for rain. The rain will come only for them, come for the whole village. Even though the prayer is done by the only by the certain set of people, the rain comes for everybody. So everybody is a recipient, even though the prayers are done only by a few people. The devas give them to everyone. So whoever receives, they have to express their the gratitude in the form of giving back what they have to the people, to the society, to the nature. Not giving back, then they become stenaha. Even the simple in the puja or in the before bhojanam, we do parisheshanam or naivedyam. Naivedyam is Bhagwan is not going to come and eat. If Bhagwan eats, then nobody will offer naivedyam. Naivedyam is an expression, it's a pure expression of our thankfulness, gratitude. We offer it and then we take. Without offering, we should not take. Then it becomes that food, that annam, which is taken, that becomes poison. That is why this offering, the attitude of offering, that is important. And when you offer and take, that is yajna That is yajna shishta. Yajna shishta shinasantaha muchante sarva kilbishaihi. So that yajna shishta, the one who eat the left out of the yajna. What is the left out of the yajna? After offering what you eat, after sharing with others what you have got, whatever it could be, whether it is joy or whether it is money or whatever may be the things, that is the shishta, yajna shishta. Yajna shishta shinaha santaha sarva kilbishaihi sarva papaihi muchante. They become free. Those who consume the remnants of the yajna, they become free from all the kilbisha, the papa. Sarva kilbishaihi muchante. Those who do not offer and they consume, they, what do they eat? Agam bhunjate. They eat only papa and therefore they become papaha. They are papis. Bhunjate te tu agam papaha. Te ye bhunjate without offering, te agam, te papaha bhavati. Because te agam bhunjate. Because they eat papa, therefore they become papis. And here, Bhagavan Krishna gives a simple karma as an upalakshana. Ye pachanti atma karanat. Here pachana kriya is only an upalakshana. Ye pachanti, pachdatu, to pachash, to cook, cooking. The one are those who cook for themselves. Those who cook for themselves and then they eat without offering to the atiti, without offering to the pakshi, the animals. They eat only papam. Therefore, they become papaha. That is why before eating, we offer it to the crows in the morning, and in the night, we are offering to the dogs. They say that dogs and the cows, they remember the past, and they know they know they have connection with the people in the past. If a cow or dog comes to the person without you inviting, and if they are very soft with you, very loving, then it means some connection is there. We don't know, because cows and dogs can see. They can they have that sense of seeing the past connection. And in the night, the food should be offered to the dogs. They should be offered to the crows. So like that, we have the traditional thing, the observances in our religious way of life. Therefore, without offering, and atiti bhojanam also. Without Atiti, some people will not even take food. First offer to Atiti, then you eat what is left out. That becomes Yajna Shishta. Sarva Kilbishaihi Muchyante. And here, one grammar thing. Ye pachanti atma karanat. Dupachash dhatu. Pach dhatu meaning to cook. Atma karanat for oneself. Pach dhatu, it's ubhayapadi dhatu. So pachati, pachataha, pachanti. Pachate, pachete, pachante. Also, it is the atmanipadi. Atma karanat, it should be pachante. But here pachanti is there. This is Arsha Prayogam. It can be pachanti or pachante. Here Vyasacharya uses pachanti. Generally, if the result of the karma, if you do karma for gaining the result to be enjoyed by oneself, then we use Atmanepadi. Pachdatu meaning to cook. If I cook for myself, then I have to use Atmanepadi. If I cook for others, then Parasmepadi, Pratyas should be added to the Dhatu. That is the general niyama. And Vyasacharya, like that, Rishis, they don't have such niyama. So, ye pachanti, pachanti is equal to pachante, atma karanat, those who cook for themselves. Te agam papaha, they become the consumer of papa. Therefore, atma karanat. So, therefore, this yajna shishta ashinaha, and here this yajna, from here, yajna we can extend. The yajna is, pachana kriya is an upalakshana. We can bring other yajna which are called pancha maha yajna. The yajna, when we say, that is what is offered back, that is called yajna. That offering back is further elaborated, not here, in some other text, and in our Shastram it is elaborated as pancha maha yajna. 5 great yajna. The 5 great yajna to be performed by every grihastha. So if you don't perform that Panchamaha yajna, then you will have dosha. Why it should be done? There is another reason also. Why this Panchamaha yajna should be done? Another reason also is given by our Shastram. We do 5 types of papa. Every day we do as a in the house this grihastha, the householders, not only householder, everybody, they do the 5 types of papa. This for cooking we use this pestle and mortar and grinding stone, and we use fire for cooking, and we use the water, we keep the water pots, and we use broomstick for cleaning the house. These are the 5 types of action which is done. 5 types of action done at 5 places. One is the grinding, the pestle and the mortar, that is one, and the other one is grinding stone. We grind. Nowadays mixie and other things have come, but those days we use the grinding stone for the preparing the cooking ingredients. We use the grinding stone, pestle and mortar, and nowadays gas stove is there, but those days they use log for firewood for cooking, and they keep you keep the water pot. They use water pot and they keep it in a place. And broom also is used for cleaning the house. So by these 5 actions, 5 types of papas, every day we gather. Every day we gather papa, and if we don't neutralize it by another counter positive karma, then this papa will be keep on adding. That is why mama upata durita, all become durita. They become durita, and they become an obstacle. So these are the 5 papa. That is a beautiful shloka. Kandani peshani chulli udakumbi cha marjani panchasona grihastasya tabihi swargam na vindati. That is why, because the shloka says grihastha, that is why I also use the word grihastha. These are 5 places where the injury to, the pain to the beings are committed. Whatever may be the being, whether it is insect or whether it is a prani, whatever it may be, that these are committed. Kandani. Kandani is this using the pestle and mortar. Peshani. Peshani is grinding. Chulli. Chulli is the the Paka Agni, the cooking fire, chulli. And Udakumbi. Udakumbi. Udakumbi is Udaka is water. Udakumbi is the water pot, where you keep the water pot. There may be small insects. They are all killed. And broomstick we use, that is Marjani. So the 5 types of papas are committed by everyone. Therefore, to neutralize that, 5 types of yajnas are prescribed by the Shastram. That is what we say: Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna, otherwise called Rishi Yajna, Pitra Yajna, then Manushya Yajna, otherwise called Nara Yajna, and Bhuta Yajna. 5 types of Yajna. Deva Yajna is you offer to Bhagavan, Devatas. Devatas are the representatives of Bhagavan alone. Every law is presided over by a particular deity, and they're all nothing but the manifestation of the same Ishvara alone. The same Bhagavan alone is manifest in the form of different, the law of the natural, the forces, the presiding deities. So offering them, and the Brahma Yajna, Rishi Yajna, that is the study of the Shastram, teaching, chanting, all those things. Pitra Yajna offering to our ancestors. Nara Yajna offering to our fellow human beings, and Bhuta Yajna taking care of the animals, birds, other species. So, Pancha Sona Kritam Papam Pancha Maga Yajnehi Vyapohati. The 5 types of Papam which is committed every day, generally, it is washed off by Pancha Maga Yajna. Therefore, Yajnam Samachara, Karma Samachara. If you don't do it, what will happen? You will get Papam. If you don't do papam, if you don't do this, then you will get papam. That is why papaha, agam papaha, bunjate. If you don't do reciprocate for what you have been given, then you become kritagnaha. You become a kritagna, you become ingrateful. And by being ingrateful, if you do karma, you will become bound. You will become a bandhaha. So therefore only says yajnartat karma kuru. Yajnartat Ishvara prapti hetu karma. Bhagavad priti rupa karma kuru. Other karma, other than that karma, any karma, you will become bandha karanam. Karma becomes bandha karanam. Karma which is performed with raga dvesha, where there is a pressure to get the desire ends by any means, kuk or krut, that becomes bandha karanam. Therefore, not recognizing the Bhagavan in the form of this yajna, the order, the karma done by the person becomes the means for bondage. Therefore, recognizing Bhagavan, who is in the form of the order, therefore, give back. So, therefore, if you don't do, then it becomes the means for bandha. And one will get the result of karma in the form of papa and punya. Without fail, one will get the result of karma. When the karma is kamya karma, propelled by raga dvesha, definitely one will get the result. The result could be papam or punyam, depending on what the karma is. But when the same karma is done as a yajna for Ishvara priti, antakarana shuddhi, then it becomes the means for freedom. That is why Bhagavan Krishna said, Mukta Sangha San Samachara. If it is done, then it becomes a yoga. Therefore, by karma yogena, yajna karmana, prasavishyadvam, may you multiply, may you grow. And that yajna will become your kamadenu, ishtakamaduku. Iti, therefore, Bhagavan said. Then the next shloka. So up to this is it's a beautiful, the topic, the gist of this karma yoga. Now, in the next Bhagavan entered into the next topic, where he presents the cycle. He presents the natural, the cycle, the cyclic process. In the cyclic process, the importance of the human being, contribution of human being. Human beings also an important link in the cycle. That is presented by Bhagavan. So, because you are an important link, therefore you should be a contributor. Contributed to this cycle. For the cycle to continue, you should be a contributor. What is a cycle? Let us read the 14th shloka. Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha.
Parjanyadanna sambhavaha.
Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha.
Yajnat bhavati parjanyaha.
Yajna karma samudbhavaha.
Yajna karma samudbhavaha.
Annat bhavanti bhutani. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha. You can see Panchami Vibhakti. Annat, Parjanyat, Yajnat. The next shloka also we can read because all connected. Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
Karma brahmodbhavam vidhi.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
Nityam yajne pratishthitam.
Nityam yajne pratishthitam.
So here the yajna which is something helps to maintain the order, the harmony of the cosmos is mentioned here, and it is a cyclic process where the human beings have got more to contribute, because the animals and other beings, they do not have the free will. They don't enjoy free will. They are all bhokta only. They are just the enjoyers. For the karmapala, they have taken the shariram of animals, birds, etc. They are just consumers. They cannot do any papa. Whereas human being endowed with free will, he can do punyam, he can do papam also. Yeah, because he has got the free will. Therefore, human beings who are one of the important links there, they have to be the contributor to the maintenance of this cycle. So that is why here it is, Bhagavan points out, the yajna must be done. You must be a participator of this yajna. When you are participating in this yajna, you become a karma yogi. And what is that? This yajna, what is the cycle? The cycle is talked about. Annad bhavanti. This is a chakra, dharma chakra, cycle. The cycle in the form of this dharma. And this cycle shows that all of us are interconnected, interdependent. How we are interconnected? Annad bhavanti bhutani, parjanyat anna sambhavaha. Annat, from the food. Annam is bhujyate, adyate iti annam. That which is taken, consumed is called annam. From that, bhutani bhavanti. Bhutani, beings, creatures, including human beings. All the beings are born from annam only. So annam is a source. Living beings are born of food. How can living beings born from food? We don't see anybody born from potato, or any being is born from just from the rice. No, it is not just mere annam. It is bhukta annat, the annam which is consumed. The annam which is consumed becomes the annam which is consumed consumed becomes from that bhutani. The annam which is consumed becomes the source for the birth of the other beings. The plants, the oshadis, etc., which is consumed by the Purusha, that is converted into the Retas, and Retas is transferred to the Yoshit, the woman, and it is conceived. We saw in Undakopanishad. Puman Reta Sinchate Yoshita Yam. And that Puman is how in that Puman that it has become Retas because of the food what he consumed. And how the food came, came because of the rain fall which has fallen on the earth. How the rain came? The rain came from the clouds. We saw how the jiva assumes different sharira, and finally it becomes the human being, and it is multiplied. This Panchagni Vidya, in that context we saw the same idea here also. So Annad Bhavanti is Bhukta Annad Bhutani Bhavanti. The Anna which is consumed, that becomes the source for the generation of further creatures, beings. And this how this Annam is produced. For Annam to produce, rain is required. Without rain, there is no food production. Rain, when we say sun also is required. Sun and rain. Rain is important. Sun is also important. So, Anna Sambhavaha becomes possible. Annam becomes possible because of rain. And how this rain comes? Yajnat Bhavati. Yajnat Bhavati Parjanyaha. The rain is born of Yajna. Yajna Karma. Yajna, here it is Yajna Karma, that is the Adrishta Palam, the Punyam. The Punyam, as a Yajna has got, if you do a particular Yajna, the Yajna has got two Palam. One is Drishta Palam, other one is Adrishta Palam. Yajna being in karma, any karma will have two types of palam. One is Drishta Palam, other one is Adrishta Palam. If you do a homa, a yajna, Drishta Palam is you will see a lot of smoke. Lot of ingredients have been offered into the Agni. You will see a lot of smoke. That is Drishtam, immediate result. That is not only the result. And of course, the smoke is there. The smoke also is good for the Sharira. It's a smoke. The smoke of the yajna increases the longevity of the person. The breathing of the smoke of the yajna gives you longevity, whereas the breathing of the smoke of mashana reduces the longevity. So, Drishtapalam is the yajna being conducted, it provides you the conducive atmosphere. It gives you the conducive, not only conducive atmosphere, it gives you the longevity, etc. And the Drishtapalam is you see smoke, that is immediate seen result. That is another important result, which is Adrishtam, that is not seen. What is that Adrishtam? That is Yajna which you have done gives you Punyam, Punya Palam. For that Shastram only is a Pramana. A prayer which you do, what you do, the result of that, how does it become converted into a tangible result? It doesn't become a result immediately. The prayer produces the Adrishtapalam. The Adrishtapalam produces the result, what you perceive, what you gain. So it is not immediately, it is converted into a tangible, visible result. It produces Adrishtam, and Adrishtam becomes a tangible result. Similarly, the Yajna Karma produces Adrishtapalam, and out of Adrishtam, rain is produced. So the rain is because of this Yajna. Does it mean that everybody has done Punya Karma, therefore rain comes? No. In a society, even if most of the people are adharmic, few dharmic people are there, and they have prayer, rain will come. Because their prayers have the result of bringing rain. That is the effectiveness of the prayer. So therefore, yajnat bhavati. Yajnat bhavati parjanya. The rain is born of the parjanya, born of the punyam. Yajnat bhavati parjanya. Rain is born of punyam, which is born of yajna karma. Parjanya can be taken as cloud or it can be taken as rain. Clouds means rain. Then from where this yajna came? Yajna karma samudbhavaha. Yajna karma samudbhavaha. This yajna is born from the karma, the action which the human being performs. So therefore it's a cycle. Therefore it is a cycle. So therefore karma yoga is leading the life in keeping with the harmony within nature. That is called karma yoga. In karmic karma, what we do, karma, there is the focus is only on grabbing things. Whereas in karma yoga, your focus is on giving. It's a give and take. Contribution and consumption. Consume less, contribute more. That is karma yoga. Whereas in karma, mere karma, there is consumption. Or consumption, little contribution or no contribution. So therefore, leading a life of karma yoga, this cycle is maintained. And this karma is produced from karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. What is Brahma here? Brahma here means Veda. The karma is born of Vedas. The word Brahma here, it should be translated as Veda. Why? Because another word Aksharam is used. Therefore, here the word Brahma is Veda. Brahma has got the meaning of the Veda also. So, karma brahmodbhavam viddhi. Karma is born of Vedas. How it is born of Vedas? In the Veda only talked about this. Karma kanda is there, Jnana kanda is there. It is a source of all the Vedika karma. It is a source of even this yajna, this karma yoga. It is a source of for knowing the Purushartha. So, here, the yajna, this Vedika is talked about. Vedika karmas are talked about. So, not only Vedika karma, other karma also can be included. Therefore, for karma, what is a source? Veda is a source. From Veda only, the karmas are born. Karma, Veda is a source for the knowledge of karma, karma kanda. So, therefore, karma brahmodbhavam. Viddhi. Viddhi means may you know. May you know. Janihi vriddhi. May you know. This karma is born from the Veda. Because Veda only gives you the injunction and prohibitions of doing and not doing, do's and don'ts. Everything is given by the Veda only. So therefore, what should be done, what should not be done, since everything is given by Veda, therefore Veda becomes the source of karma. And that karma becomes in yajna, karma yoga. That for that, Veda is a source. And this Veda is born from what? Brahma Akshara Samudbhavam. It is born from Akshara. Vedas are Akshara is Naksharati. Iti Akshara. That which doesn't perish, that which doesn't decay, doesn't get destroyed. What doesn't get destroyed? It is Bhagavan, Ishvara. Therefore, Vedas are born from Ishvara. That is why we say it is Apaurusheya Pramanam. Vedas are Apaurusheya Pramanam. It is not created, it is not produced. It is with Bhagavan, and at the time of Srishti, it comes from Bhagavan. At the time of dissolution, it goes back to Bhagavan. So Vedas come and go. It has got Pravaha Nityatvam. Vedas are with Bhagavan and comes out from Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is a source of Veda, the knowledge. So knowledge, no knowledge is created. We cannot create even an ounce of knowledge. We can only discover. That is why it's called no knowledge. Ignorance is there. Therefore, ignorance can be scrapped and knowledge can be discovered. But knowledge cannot be created. So it is with the Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan is all knowledge. Therefore, Bhagavan is the source of this Veda, and Veda is the source of all the karma. Therefore, Tasma Sarvagatam Brahma. Therefore, everything is what? Everything is Sarvagatam Brahma. Therefore, everything is Veda alone. Because the Veda, the karma, the yajna is a source. Yajna, for yajna, Veda is a source. And therefore, Sarvagatam Brahma. Brahma is Sarvagatam. Vedas are all pervasive. Whatever karma you do, that all karma in keeping with the Veda only. It should be either Dharma, Artha, Kama, or Moksha. So, all the Purusharthas are known only from the Veda. Therefore, since you are engaged in any one of the Purushartha, therefore, in all your action, in and through all your action, Veda alone is pervaded. Therefore, Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma. Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam. Pratishtitam. It is present. Pratishtitam. This Sarvagatam Brahma, it is Pratishtitam. It is present, established in this yajna. Therefore, this Brahma, the Veda, it is Pratishtitam. It rests, it abides in this yajna. So the Tatparyam of Veda is this yajna, that is the Karma Yoga. Karma Kanda of the Veda is Karma Yoga. Jnana Kanda of the Veda is Jnana. So karma is emphasized. So here when we say Brahma, Tasma Sarvagatam Brahma, Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam is because the human beings are after Dharma, Artha, Kama, Purushartha predominantly, and Moksha also is there as one of the Purushartha. But since most of the people are Dharma, Artha, Kama, Artha, therefore, all the karma, they have that abidance, they have their adhishtanam, this adhara only in the Veda. Therefore, Nityam Yajne Pratishtitam. It is Pratishtitam. Prakarshena Stitam. It abides. Always Nityam. Where this Veda, Brahma, the Veda, always abide in this Yajna. Iti. So therefore, this is a cycle. Evam Pravatitam Chakram iti. Bhagavan Krishna continues. That we will see. We will see that in the next class. Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha Stunvanti Divyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangha Padakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yoginaha Yasyantam na vidussura suragana Devaya tasmai namaha. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
धन्यवाद गुरुजी.
धन्यवाद. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Guruji.